Well, what it do, comic bros? It's your boy Super Sean here, and this is Power of Comics. And today I got an article from Comic Book Resources on Invincible Season 3, the most controversial arc that I like to share my opinion on. But before I get to that, I need y'all to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and without further ado, Maestro, drop that track. This is regarded as one of the best superhero stories ever written. I mean, it's literally that good. This is gold. So what I don't understand is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Now, yes, we all know SA is real, and it's something that people deal with in the world, y'all. It happens every day. Let's figure out a way that we can process these issues correctly without trying to act like it didn't happen. You know what I mean? This is part of Anissa's story. I mean, she actually ascends from here. She becomes a formidable character in the story. Very respectable. Finds a family and everything. But she has to go through her lows to get to her highs. And when you take an arc like this away from the story, it takes from her character development, and that's what I don't like. When the great Robert Kirkman wrote this story, this is how he wrote it. Why do we need to change it? It was that good when you sold hardbacks. It was that good when you sold soft copies. It was that good when you sold them beautiful library editions that we all know and love. So why change it? Us comic book fans, we love the story. I mean, let's take the manga adaptation of Jujutsu Kaisen. One of the most controversial things that happened in season 2 was the wee wee inmate scene.
疲れたろ、ウィウィ。今日はこのまま一緒のベッドで寝ようか。
そんな、はしたないですよ。
はしたない私は嫌いかい？
そんなは。
I bet when Gege was writing it, he probably knew that it would be a little controversial. But guess what? They left it in because this is the story that the artist wants to tell. When you go get a painting, do you say, okay, I like that painting, but change the background and I'll buy it? No. When you go get that Drake album, do you say, I love all 18 tracks on there, but please take the intro and the outro off? I want to get straight into it. No, we take what the artist gives us and we appreciate it. And that's all I'm saying. People look for many ways to be offended nowadays. And I'm not trying to come off insensitive to the situation or insensitive to the act that happens, that we're talking about, what happens between Mark and Anissa. But it happens on a daily in America, and we need to figure out a way to process these things, heal from these things, and separate it from the art of the story to real life. This is why we have ratings, mature ratings, PG ratings, R ratings. If we were going to censor anything, we would not need these ratings, you guys. Why would we need them? I just love this Invincible story so much the way it is. I don't want nothing new. But those are my thoughts. Let me read this article from Comic Book Resources. Let's get into it. So it says, when season 2 of Invincible teased new threats from Mark Grayson, it wasn't just raising the stakes. The young hero was faced with many trials and tribulations. Mark didn't want to kill and was lacking confidence over whether he could defend Earth when Viltrumites arrived. Things got darker when an agent from the Viltrumite Empire arrived and beat Mark down. Her name, Anissa, a new arrival. was a very controversial character in the comics. While some fans are expecting season 3 of Invincible to unearth the franchise's most horrific arc that focused on the duel, it actually doesn't need it. Instead, it seems to be subverting the drama for something more unpredictable and nuanced. Anissa initially battered Mark and intimidated him to send a message on behalf of her superiors. Join them or die. In time, she will become part of Thrag's Viltrumite refugees on Earth. Anissa eventually worked with the likes of Omni-Man to keep their new home safe. Unfortunately, Anissa's ego ran wild. She hated the men of Earth, but needed them for breeding stock. Mating with them would produce a stronger Viltrumite warrior, much like Mark. Anissa decided to pick Mark, who was half human, half Viltrumite, and R-A to the P to the him. She toyed with him afterward, wanting to commit the atrocious act again. She'd also tease Mark about it, but he couldn't do anything. He didn't want to mess up the alliance that their kind had with the Global Defense Agency. Part of Mark was ashamed because he didn't know how to process being a guy who was R to the A to the P. Some readers found it cheap and distasteful, but there was some poignancy in the trauma Mark suffered thereafter and how he hid it from Autumn Eve and his father. Mark would end up telling them. But as time passed, Anissa changed. From the villain of old, she married a man from Earth and wanted to atone. However, she hid away Mark's son, Marky, not wanting to dredge up how he was born. Through essay, Anissa needed more page space to be fully redeemed, but Mark and his allies forgave her when she sacrificed her life in a war with Thrag and his new legion when they turned against Earth. So, like I was saying, this is her whole character development. You take that away, you change stuff up, we don't have the Anissa from the comics. What would be your alternative? To just cut it out? I prefer you to just cut it out than to try to change it. Don't make Mark do some weird stupid stuff, drink too much or something, and then end up in the bed with Anissa. Don't do nothing like that. Don't go changing his personality and his character to appease your views, to make you feel better about the story, because it's not about you. There's a whole comic book community that loves this story. And that's all I'm saying, y'all. That's all I'm saying. But these are my thoughts. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Super duper deuces.